Well, this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Caller, and we're looking at the SIDUR RECHOVOT NAHAR. RECHOVOT NAHAR is a very popular, well, I've seen many people use it, but it's on the other time, it's the nusach is Sephardi. So therefore, we don't want to exclude anybody, and I'm trying to locate the Kudus Kesef SIDUR, which is Ashkenaz, but Hasidic. So it's very similar to it. Well, actually, basically, it follows the format of the Nusach or Nusach Sfard. So we're going to get into this, and I'm going to try to find this here. And we're at an important part because there is the two magic words that we're going to have to go through. Try to understand this. Again, I keep plodding through the explanations and doing the best I can. Now, we saw this before when we learned the Matbei Bracha on Tzitzis. And let's just look at before we get into the words, which are always a little bit on the backbreaking side, let's take a look at the formations that we have of the lights and what exactly is going on. Now, on the left side here, we see the asma, the four different mochim, which surrounds the oros of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu that are coming in our direction. On the right side, we have the concept of the Arba Misos Beis Din. So the first one is Skila, which is at that very top level. That is the Milui called Av. Sreifa corresponds in some way to Sag. Hereg corresponds to Zer Anpin, which is Ma, and the Nook corresponds to Ben. Now, in the middle, and he's going to explain this a little bit, I hope, we have the name Havaya, the name Adni, and the name Akya. Now, how this goes, I'm not sure that I really understand it 100%, but just looking at it, that's the job I have to do right now, is to look at this. These are the Arba Mitzvahs Beis Din, in which we try to picture in our mind that we are offering our souls to Hashem. Now, on the left side, we see this lineup over here. Yud Kei Vav Kei is the Moloch of Av. Then we say, which is the gematria of 72. Then we have Yud Kei Vav Kei plus the 10 letters. Yud Kei Vav Kei spelled like this is a gematria of 63. Plus 10 letters makes 73. Then you have the name Havaya, which is 26. And you have the name Ma, which is 45. 26 and 45 makes 71. And then you have the Revua of Yud Kei Vav Kei, Yud Kei, Yud Kei Vav Kei. And this Revua, it comes out to gematria 72. These are the Rapach Netzutzos that we are elevating. So we, according to the Kabbalah, that we are Jewish people are in a mining operation. We are mining out the lost particles from the Shvira that take place. Now, I'll just go a little bit further. When you do, let me see if this one I have to bring back up so we can see the whole thing as much as I can get to. So here we have the Oros. These are the Oros. What happened here is that when we sacrificed our lives, so to speak, for the Arba Mitzvahs Beis Din, using these names that we discussed, the Mochim and so on and so forth, and then the combinations of 4 times 72 makes 288. That's called Rapach. The Rapach Netzutzim. Then we come to what's going up. And you say the word, skip the page. And you say, you start going up. And let me get this over here. And these are the oros that are now going from you upwards. And the oros are going to be meluvash. They're inside. Remember, we have the concept of cold summer. So they're going to be in the very inside is the light of the Ein Sof, covered by Mochin, Av, Sag. Then inside of that is Das, which also has five Chesadim and five Gevuros. And then the other Moach, which is Ma'u Ben. And finally, the Moach, which is called Kone, which is on the side of the female. Now, then we have another one. We're just going through the ideas, and we're going to get to the actual words, some of them at least in this shiur. Then you see here again. This is the top part. I'm not sure. This is the menukad of the nikud of Chochmah, Bina, Das is already split. Then you have Keser, the Poshet, the Mole, and the Mole de Mole on the right line, on the left line, and in the center. They come down. All of this is the Mole de Mole. And this are the Miluim only. And I'm just assuming this, I didn't see it stated, that this is the outer layer. The layer, in other words, which is next to the next, which is abuts or is inside of the next parts. Now let's come over here and see what we got going on over here. Now, I could tell you what he says. He says, this is Av, Gematria 72. This is Malchus. He says, this is Sag, plus 10 levers is 73. This is the same formation we saw before. This is all going upwards instead of going downwards. This is Avaya plus 45 for 71. And this is the Revua, which is another 72, which add them up. These are the Nitzutzos. These are Nitzutzos of the Mochim that are broken. Then it comes down, it goes all the way up to the very topmost part, because we're going the other way. We're going upwards. Is we're going to get to the topmost part, and we're going to make a yichud between the name Av and the name Sag. And this is what the yichud looks like. Now this yichud, you're up at the very top. It's going to cause yichudim coming back down towards us. And we will go into the details on those. And then we get, because that's the last part of that, and then we are going to get to their other names, that is the Asher Kedushana B'Mitzvaysa B'Tzivona L'Hanich Tefillin. We're going to go through all of those. But this is the part which is the most difficult. And, you know, what could I do? I wish I was a much more learned person, but I am not. Just, this is something that was introduced to me by Rabbi Y.C. Mimram, Yosef Chaim Mimram, and he took time with me. He learned with me, and he showed me these things. Now, he has a limit to his knowledge also, because this is something which is complex. So we get finally to the word melech. When you say the word melech, you're going to generate the Arba Mitzvos stays based in, and the Nitzutzos that we are going to try to be working with. Let's see what his words are. He said, the Shishas Asada, the Sada is Shmuel Dweck HaKohen. That's what it stands for. He's a tremendous scholar from the Syrian community. So he said, the Shishas Asada, Mekuvanim Kan, the Daled Misos Beis Din. That's what this stands for. So we have, when we get to, according to the Sada, we have this thought in our mind that we're going to now concentrate on the death of our souls and offering it to Hashem. So also at the same time, we're going to get back into that, the Birurim that are the Rapach, so you could either look at it in terms of what there are two sides to this. That's what it is. He says, according to this is the Sada. He says there's Arba Mitzvos based in. And according to everybody else, it doesn't, I don't think it means exclusively, though. Everyone else, these different combinations, these are all 72s. It's 72, 73, 71, and 72, all add up to 288. So he writes over here, Yukavein, Levara Biruri Kalim. That's the Kalim that broke as a result of the Shvira. So he said, V'oros the Rapach, that's the 288, those lights of the Rapach, the Kachbab the Zun, from the Rosh of Zun, the Chitzonius the Atzilus, from the outside of Atzilus. So its drawing from the outside of Atzilus is that part which is created to the other lower world, to Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya. And he says, Yakavin Devara Beruri Kalim. So we're now trying, this is our effort, to bring up the sparks of Kedusha that are lost in this world that we live in. He said, V'oros, the Rapach, those lies, are coming from where? The Kachbad, which is the Rosh, of Zun, as a partzef. The Chitzonius, the Tzilus, on the outside of Tzilus, that's where it's going to be received. And so therefore you have here these 72s, as I said before. This is 63 plus 10, 73. This is 26 plus 45, 71. And this is 72, the Revuah. V'yakaven la'alosam im shorshin neranki shalo. And you should have this kavanah, that you're going to lift up all of these things. They're going upwards. Lift them up im shorshech and the ranki shalo lazun, with the roots of all of the lights that are going, that shalo lazun, to zun or for zun. V'az nitan koich bezun. And then when you're doing this and concentrating on these ideas, v'az nitan koich bezun, Amavarem gam hein mi biruri acharayim de yasos. Let's go over that a little bit. Yasos is that element of bina which actually enters into Zer Anpin to feed and grow Zer Anpin. So let's go back, and there's v'az niten koch bezun. Zun, as a result of these arba bisas based in the 72 that we're mentioning, the 4 times 72 that we're mentioning over here, the 288, the tzutzos. And Mavarlim gam heim mi biruri acharayim de yasa. So we take them also from the birurim that are associated with the backside of Yisrael Sabatavuna, that parts of Yisrael Sabatavuna, Machalke kachba de yasos, and from that portion, which is from the head of yasos, hakolalim imarach barapach, which are included, and they're all included with it are the 288 nitzutzos, which are this form right here. Now he goes like this. So this is your kavana. This is where you're at right now. You just went through Melech Ha'olam. This is the lowest possible place. It strikes the bottom, and it's now going to rebound back upwards. That is the mochin, which surrounds the neranchi, which is the oros. Which are all those mochin that you brought down as a result of saying Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu, which is where we were. This is the word Elokeinu right there. So we came all the way down to Keilu, and then we come to the word Melech Olam. The Melech Olam is the concept of, once again, Arba Mitzvahs based in, also bringing up Nitzutzos, same idea. Shehem Asma, which are also correspond to, these are actually what we see brought down. These are the Mochin, which are Av Sag Ma'u Ben, Asmab, and Kasa Kamagkana, which is those are the male mochin, and these are the female mochin. So v'im ha-mochin, the shlosha partsufim panemium, and this comes along with the mochin of the 3 partsufim panemium, which are those shehem kachbad dachagat dezah. So it is the rosh of the Chabad, the Zer Anpin. Now, Zer Anpin in general is Chagat. Ches Gevurah Tiferes. Well, it's also Chagat 9, which is Netzachod Yisod, which is Netzachod Yisod. So Shehem Kachba, but this is the top part of them. Take Chagat as a partzuf and say that it has 10 spheros. then you would take the top 4 spheros of Zer Anpin. V'shlosha mab, and also we're going to see this, I think. He's going to throw 3 mobs. Now, what do we know about mob? Mob is the koyach. It's like is a catalyst the right word? But it's the koyach of moving upward. So when you have the name mob and you want to move from, say, Olam Etzia, Bria, and Yitzir and Bria, you want to pull that up to the chitzonius he said before of the to the chitzon. I was going to say the chitzonius of Yisrael Saba Tevuna. V'shlosha mab the asam of Sag Uma umiluehem, together with their miluyim, shehem mochin the shnei partsufim chitzonius. These are the mochin that come from the outer partsufim chitzonius shehem nai v'chagat hagat. How many times have we seen the nai the hagat? How many times have we seen that? It's over and over again here, because we're dealing with Chagat. Chagat is the middle parts of all partsufim. So let's see the Zah. Im hanaranchi, the ranchi, even together. Now this is hard for me. The ranchi. Now see, the idea is ranchi begins with the word, with the word ruach. Ruach goes with Chagat nai. Because and Chagat in general, because Chagat refers to Zer Anpin, Chagat nai is a complete Zer Anpin. So he's like im hanaranchi, the ranchi. That is the complete set of lights, starting with the light which is called ranchi, which is ruach neshama chayin yechida. Doesn't have a nefesh to it. You're moved up to there. The nechi, the ruach shebehem. And look, we have to digest this. It has to be said. It has to be consumed, so to speak, but it's out there. He says, the ranchi, the nechi, which is the highest, and other parts of lights, of the nechi, the ruach, again, ruach refers to Zer Anpin or Chagat nai, shebehem. Im biruri kalim, together, that's what we had over here, the birurim of the kalim. We're bringing up the broken pieces. Im, let's see, where did I find? I lost my place. Im hamochin the shlosha partsufim benimim shehem mechag shehem mochin the shnei partsufim chitzoniim, the 2 most outer partsufim, which I think is Chagat nai, shehem nai v'chagat dachagat. Now understand what he's saying like this. If we looked at it, hello Bob, what do you got here? I'm trying to look for a piece of paper. Give me a second. Take one out of here. Oh, man, this is so hard. See, there's so many different ways to look at something which is not physical, but if we looked at the oros like this, and the mochin like this, and then the tzlomim like that, if we looked at it down on it, and then we had, after the slope becomes levushim, and then around, I'm not a great artist, and then finally we have the kalim. So hidden inside of all of this are the oros. So we're going through various different parts of that. There's a way of looking at this from the top to the bottom, from the top looking down. Let's go back to where I was. Mochin the shnei partsufim hitzoniim. Where are they? Shehem nai v'chagat hachagat azah. I'm going to see this phrase over and over again. Im han the ranchi, together with the complete set of lights, starting with the ruach, the neshama chayin yechida, each one of them, the ranchi of those, again of the nechi, which is the top part of the lights, the ruach shebechem of the ruach, looking at a ranchi again of the ruach. Now, what's great about this is I really joined this into another shiur. I forgot to stop the other one, or what's going on? I'm still 19 minutes in this. It's possible. I don't believe it, but it's possible, because I thought I already did the other one. I did. I'm talking to myself. I'm sorry. He says, I'm a little bit lost always. He says, this is deep for me. I can't believe that it's actually 19 minutes in here. The Nachi, the Ruach Shebechem. That's where we were the last time. Together with the Birurim of the Kalim. These are the Birurim of the Kalim. 72s. So it's 72, 71, 73, which makes between them two 72s, and then the final 72. So it goes back to Biruri Kalim V'oras, the Rapach, and the lights of this Rapach, that goes out to 288. The Shlosha Partsufi Kachba, the Kolonim, to the big, the over-incorporate, or the incorporating parts of called Kachbad, HaKolonim. So I don't have down what he means by Kolonim, but he means the I guess the most panimistic aspect of the Chitzonius, the Rabbiya, the Atzilus of the Chitzonius. Remember, you have a Panemius and a Chitzonius, so we're all working on the Chitzonius now, of the Atzilus, Bri, Yisir, and Asiya, the Atzilus. Now, what did he say like that? He said, because in every hidden world, and the most hidden of all of them is Atzilus, there are also gradations. That's right, gradations. So there's also an abiyah of every one of them. There's a high part and a lower part, like that. Hamis yachsim lebracha zu, which are related to this bracha, but the mitzvah zu, the haraisa, which is zun. Let's get that last part. I get a bracha zu, mitzvah zu, the haraisa, which is, he says, zun. Okay, miss that a little bit, what that zun is. Now, let's go here. It's easier here. He says, these are the lights they're going, now we're moving upwards in these lights. They're not moving downwards. Let me clean this up a little bit. And it says like this, and we went through it slightly. These are oros. Oros and Mochi, and it implies that they're also not just the rows of Mochim, but there's also Flamim and Levushim and Kalim. But we're looking here, he's just showing that's implied and showing us this. Let's read the words of the Rashash. What you're trying to do is la'alos, elevate, Gimel Tzalmei Amochim. Now this is the outer wrapper, which is on the Tzlamim. That is called the Tzlamim, which cover over the Mochim. The Shlosha Partsufim Bapanimium, there are 3 Partsufim inside of them, the Chabad, the Haggad, the Zun. Now, once again, we're dealing with Chabad. We're dealing with Zun. Chabad can be divided into 3 different sections. The first section is called Chabad, that's at the top. The middle section is called Chagat, and the lower section is called Nai. So the phrase that comes out is that it's the Chabad, Chagat, the Nai, like that. Excuse me. Chabad, Chagat, Nai, the Chagat. Just try to string that together because all of them can be divided into separate parts of Partsufim. And what are we talking about? The flow of light. This light is flowing up, and this is where it's flowing from. Shehem Asmab, which are the Mochi, Kasa, Kamag, and Kana, which are also the female. Those are the male Mosim. Asmab is Avsag Mahu Ben, Kasa, Kamag, Kana, Im HaHug, together with the 5 Chasadim and the 5 Gevuros, which are contained inside of Das. Im HaNaranchi, the Dechi, the Ruach Shebahem. Once again, the complete set of lights that are in the Netza, to the Neshama Chayin Yechida of lights, in other words, lights within lights, the Ruach Shebechem, and the Ruach that's with them. And now let's just take a quick look at this because we kind of went through it before, but these are the lights. Think of them as that we reach the bottom. And this is really the punchline in Matbea Bracha, as you bring the Oros from your mind, from the Kachbad up above the mind all the way down until you reach the bottom and offer your soul to God. This causes all the lights to reverse. This is called Mayim Nukvin. And it's the Mayim Nukvin, we have to remember, that actually causes the Yichud Lamala and brings down this tremendous Shefa to us. So this is what we have the power to do if we understand the magic within these words. So he says like this, first of all, you have the Keser, these are the Oros, Chochma being the Das is split, as I would say every time. Ekya, so then we have also Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yisod. Then we see that this light is inside of a lavush, which is called a mochin. These are what the male mochin look like, Ab, Sag, and the last one would be, where is Ma? And Ma and Ben. That's Asmab. Inside of that, or together with it, are going that part of the mochin, which are really two elements instead of das. Das is not one element, it's two. The two are the chasadim of das and the gevurah the das, and there are 5 of each. Notice how interesting it is that the Havaya is a Havaya. In Katniss, I don't really understand 100%, but that's what it looks like. The Havaya, of das, is divided into 2 parts. So here we have Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, Netzach, and Hod. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, and Netzach, and Hod. The first part was the Hey Chasadim, and this is the Hey Gevuros, and these are all coming down, or they're actually all going up. What's going to happen when they reach the top? So when they reach the top, we're really running on time here, reach the top, there's going to be a yichud that's going to take place. So let's see this last part. V'la'alos salme hamochin, to elevate. The salme hamochin, it means the tzelem, which covers over the mochin, which covers over the oros, the shnei partsufim chitzonim, with the 2 partsufim, which is chagat nai, a person of the nai v'chagat the chagat. So the nai and the chagat is the 2 partsufim on the chitzonius of chagat. Which chagat? There's a chagat in every partsuf. The zun, in the rantche, the rantche, what's the same idea in the rantche, which is the neshama, ruach, nefesh. I said it backwards. Nefesh, ruach, neshama, chayin yechida, of ruach, of neshama, and chayin yechida. And what is that set of lights? Remember, see, like it's like leading with the concept of ruach, because the concept of ruach refers to chagat. So let's see, nachi the ruach, and then we see what is coming out. Now this is this we're going to see. This is coming from chochma, the chochma bina das, and then it's going to show you the what we call the pashat, the male, and the male de male. Now the pashat is kesed. So very interesting that the closer you get to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the less it is, right? Because it's not this big idea down here, which is making the name Yud Kei Vav Kei into 28 letters. That's closer to us. But you want to get closer to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, you're going to be dealing with the Keser here, which is going to have a pashat. So here we have, this is, I think that what he's showing me, I don't know how to classify it, other than the fact of saying what it is. These are the mob. The mob is the koach of elevating everything. It has 4 letters, 10 letters, and 28 letters. That's for the name Ma. So excuse me, I said it wrong. That's for chochma, which would be the same thing as the name Av. Then it's Bina. These are the Menakudis is Bina. Bina also has 4. Here it is. 4, 10, and 28. And then they add on the most exterior part, which is just not without the panemius at all. Because we're what is the right word? We're not using the Yud K, Vav K in the little print. We're showing that we're just a kitzonis of this. Is the number 37, which is the Milui of Sag. And then we come to the last one, which is the middle line, and this is Das. in the Das are actually, this is, yeah, it is Das. He says it has a Kesser, it has a Chachma. This is 4 and 10, and once again 28, and this is actually the Milui of Ma. Ma is the middle line. Valdav, just as Das is the beginning of the middle line. Actually, Kesser is the beginning of the middle line, but Das is what we focus on. And we're going to stop here. It would be nice to review it again, but we're going to get a chance to review it again with God's help. This is Baruch Fleischman, and you are listening to the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, listening to, or trying to learn, the SIDUR, the RASHASH.